The whole lesson of history is that preaching doesn't work. That preaching is really a form of moral violence, of trying to change human conduct by saying, look, if you don't mend your ways, there's going to be a terrible thing happen. And so the preaching lesson is no good. The only way to change human behavior is to woo instead of preach, to make love instead of threatening disaster, to point out how glorious something could be, and in some way to live it. And this is the real, if it has any meaning and if it has any guts to it, the idea of make love, not war, would be to live here and now, starting today, a magnificent life. And you don't need a great deal of money to do it. You need more imagination than money. I know innumerable people who've got lots and lots of money and who are absolutely miserable because they have no imagination. And they are full of fears because of their wealth. They always think someone's going to take it away, and instead of now, will I starve, will I get sick? There's no protection against that. Who knows when anything strikes, when any accident strikes? We have no real defense against that. It seems to me obvious that a social community must have a religion. And above all, a religion about which we all agree. There's no point in having a religion about which we don't agree. To belong to a religion today is, to my mind, not intellectually respectable. Because all you do when you join a church, you become a divisive force. You want to believe in a God. You want to believe in a life beyond death. Why? Why really do you want to believe this? The reason is you want to protect yourself. And so long as you're trying to protect yourself, you have put up a shell between you and everything you define as not being you. And for this reason, then, all your beliefs are simply sources of strife and disharmony. A religion which believes in something won't work. Because the moment you put out a belief, people start to argue. The moment you lay down a law, people start to argue. Should it be this way? Should it be that way? And then there's this group that says, we think it should be this, that you should eat meat. And the other group says, no, you shouldn't eat meat. And so they start yammering at each other. The only possibly harmonious religion for mankind could be one which has in it no ideology. It would have no doctrines. So there would be nothing to argue about. Instead of theorizing about what is the nature of the universe, to point directly. And say, if you want to understand, see into it directly. In other words, here I am talking. Anyway, look into the nature of life without thinking. And see for yourself that when you don't think, you don't make any division between yourself and the rest of the world.
So please understand from the start, when I'm talking to you, I am not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to do you any good. I'm just doing my own stuff. I talk this way like birds sing. It amuses me. I enjoy it because I'm interested. I'm full of wonder about this universe and full of all sorts of thoughts about it, and I like to share these with people. Not in order to interfere with your personal lives or make you dependent on me. Heaven forbid.
There's no difference between, in other words, the secular and the sacred, the religious and the non-religious. Once you step over the border, and that's why the entrance to this is in Zen parlance called the no-gate barrier, or the gateless gate. Because it looks like a gate, a barrier, something to be attained, some entrance to a special in-group, so long as you're standing outside it. But the moment you cross the border, the gate vanishes. So does the wall. And you see everybody at all, everybody in the world, as manifestations of the Buddha nature, or we'd say in Western terms of the divine power. And you see they're all just behaving marvelously in their ignorance. Splendid is your ignorance.
We pray. We tell God what to do or give advice, as if he didn't know. We read the scriptures. You search the scriptures daily, for in them you think you have life. I think the Bible ought to be ceremoniously and reverently burned every Easter. We need it no more because the Spirit is with us. It's a dangerous book. And to worship it is, of course, a far more dangerous idolatry than bowing down to images of wood and stone. Because nobody in his senses can confuse a wooden image with God, but you can very easily confuse a set of ideas with God, because concepts are more rarefied and abstract.